Welcome to A Quest for Metal, and today we are ranking Pestilence albums from my least favourite to my favourite. Pestilence, you guys voted for it, and they got a new album out, so what better time to rank them than right here, right goddamn now. And before I get started, pop yours down below. What's your most favourite Pestilence album? What's your least favourite? Do you think Pestilence is the best Horseman of the Apocalypse? The answer is yes. Let me know down below, and I guess let's just get stuck in with a list. So first up is Doctrine. Doctrine, yeah, it's got some high ratings, but I don't like this one. I don't really like this one that much. It's not terrible, but it's really just the worst one in my opinion. First of all, the art fucking sucks compared to all the cool spacey shit they've got. This one's just not good. It's just not that good. I know the sphere stuff and the logos in all the flags in the background, but who cares? The album cover sucks, and the music is okay. My main problem with this one is a lot of the songs, a lot of the riffs and melodies kind of sound, this may be blasphemy, kind of sound new metal-y. Kind of sound like new metal for a lot of them, especially the first couple. Like on Am God and Doctrine, they do kind of sound, I don't know, too funky for Pestilence. I like my Pestilence either gross death metal or spacey tech death. This one doesn't really cater to either for me anyway. I like it. It is fine. It's an okay album, but it's easily the worst Pestilence album in my opinion. I think all the ones after it way better, all the ones before it are way better, so that's where this is sitting on the list. Doctrine is my least favourite. So next up is Obsidio, the one that people do have last. This is the album before their breakup. So they had a breakup, they had a hiatus, and they came back with a good album. We'll talk about that soon. But this one, yeah, they're kind of going through the motions. It's a massive step up from Doctrine in my opinion. Massive fucking step up. None of these songs sound new metal-y. They all have their own identity. It's, it's spacey as well, so I like that. The drum sound on it's fucking weird. The drum sound kind of sounds like they're just banging on rocks. But yeah, I do enjoy all the songs on this one a lot more than on Doctrine. Like Aura Negative is a very cool song, and Soul Rot sounds like, that sounds like a fucking Consuming Impulse song. That's a great goddamn song, Soul Rot. So it has some special songs on it. I do think it's a lot better, but it is kind of getting samey with them. It kind of got samey with this album, which is probably maybe why they did the hiatus. I don't know, but this album is the album before the hiatus, so maybe it's because of this. Who knows? But yeah, I think it's just kind of a stuck in the rut kind of album. It's not too special, not too memorable. It's just kind of fine. It's a fine album, so it's coming the tail end of the list. Next up, we're going to talk about some albums I enjoy. Those two are kind of like, they're alright. These onwards, really goddamn good. And starting with Resurrection Macabre. First of all, great goddamn title. The album's cool, the Skeleton King looking thing. That's awesome. Now, this album feels and sounds a lot like Consuming Impulse Part 2. It even has a song from that on, a Part 2 of that, Dehydrated Part 2. Come on, this is very death metal-y. Very just like oozy and grimy, and this just feels like a proper sequel to Consuming Impulse. So Consuming Impulse is your favourite. Go listen to this. This will probably be a lot higher on your list. And I love that, by the way. And I love this, but I love the spacey sounds as well. It's hard to rank, but this one it's falling short because I don't think it's quite as good as Consuming Impulse or some of the others. So it is coming here, but some of the songs they fucking rip, especially the triple That's pathetic, Questy. The triple there you go. The triple at the beginning. What a great way to start the album. Yeah, this is a killer album. I'll play this again and again. This is fun as hell. Definitely in that kind of old school death metal sound rather than the techie sound like some of the other spacey albums. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. So no problems here, but it is coming here on the list. Next up is the name I can't pronounce. The newest one, Extivium. It sounds like a fucking Harry Potter spell. But I like this one a lot. I do think, I don't want to slam it, but it did kind of get samey as I was listening to it. Like the first half I was like, fuck yeah, intense, it's thrashy, kind of like the debut, and like some of the other ones, it's thrashy, it's intense, every song is just hitting you in the face, but after a while, your face gets numb, and you kind of want a bit of a break. This album doesn't give you a break. It's only like, 37 minutes, something like that, long, but it feels a bit longer. It needs a couple of songs, like a lot of slower songs, maybe. Because this album is very intense the whole way through. It is more like the debut, that kind of death thrash sound on this one, which is good. I enjoy that. But again, preferences. I prefer the technical, spacey stuff and the proper old school death stuff, like we'll get to. So it's sitting in a middle spot on the list, I'm afraid. I still really enjoyed it though. I can pick off songs and be like, yeah, that was sick. But listening to the whole thing in its entirety gets a bit tiresome. And that's the only thing I can say downside about it is it just gets a bit tiresome after a while. Whereas I can listen to the songs individually and be like, fucking hell, that was amazing. But as a whole package, it's pretty good. So it's going middle of the pack, because even though the songs are amazing, listening to it as an album, which is supposed to be fucking listened to, it gets a bit tiring. So yeah, coming middle of the list. So next up is the debut, Malice, Malakafakafaka. Don't know how to say this one as well, but fuck it, it's the debut. This is with Martin on the vocals, Martin Van Dronnen from Asphyx fame, and this is a lot different to that, a lot different to Consuming Impulse as well. This is thrashy, very thrashy, and almost like first wave black metal. This kind of sounds like that kind of Venom, early Bathory, early Slayer kind of shit. This sounds like that. This really does sound like Slayer album at parts. It's intense as fuck all the way through, but unlike, the album we just mentioned, this one has some cool melodies in, very cool melodies, interesting passages. It has that old school sound to it as well. I don't know, it's just something about this. It's really good. It's really goddamn good. Obviously, again, my preference is the spacey, weird technical shit, but this is still good. If you like that kind of first wave black metal stuff and that intense thrashy stuff, this might be your number one. For me, it's coming here. It's coming higher than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be last because I was like, oh, it's good, but it's not my kind of scene. The first wave shit, for the second wave shit, the atmospheric shit, but for what it is, it's fucking great. And I listened to it again today and I was like, you know what, this is going higher, because some of the melodies on here fucking kick ass. I love it. Put my own personal fucking biases aside, listening to it, I'm just like, yeah, no more narrow-minded. This is open-minded. This is a good fucking album. This deserves to be high. Nothing wrong with this album. It's fucking good. It's fucking good. And I want to listen to it again and mosh to it. So this is a mosher of an album, and Martin's vocals are sick, but I do think his vocals are better with slower death metal songs. So, yeah, well, let's get to some of them soon. But before we do, Hayden is next. This is the comeback album after the album which wasn't very good, it was okay. This came out, holy shit, it was amazing. This is amazing. It has kind of like dissonant riffs on, like a dissonant riffing style. Very technical, very spacey, very interesting. Harkening back to, say, like Spheres or something. Sounding almost kind of like Gorguts at times. Hell yeah, I fucking love this one. Hell goddamn yeah. Multi-dimensional and discarnate entity. They stand out. They kick ass. So many songs on this album are amazing. I love this album a lot. This is definitely going to go higher on my list. Hayden. It's coming here. So I'm wearing a green shirt today, just a random one, not a metal one. I was going to wear my Pestilence shirt, but that kind of gives away my number one, so I'm not going to do that. So top three now. It's got to be between these three. Come on, it's got to be between these fucking three. My number three is Consuming Impulse. Yes, it's a death metal classic. Yes, I love it. Yes, it's amazing. But I've heard a lot of stuff like this. I love Asphyx, and that's kind of all like this. Same fucking vocalist. It all sounds the same, like incantation, and like it's all very similar. But it's similar because they're all goddamn amazing. Songs like Dehydrated, classic. Out of Body, classic. All the songs on here hit hard. It's gruesome, it's dripping with filth, it's amazing. It's a classic in the death metal genre. If this was like only old school death metal, this will be high because this album's a masterpiece in that genre. But my preferences have changed and I like the spacey stuff more, so you're gonna see the other two a bit higher. But just come on, Out of Body, come on. I love the art as well, the ants on his face. He's like, ah! How good is that? It's getting consumed. And it's impulsive. Yeah, Consuming Impulse is a classic of the genre. I love it. You love it. You probably have it higher than me. But for me, number three. So here it comes to it. Number 2 and number 1. Number 2 is the fucking weird one, Spheres. Yeah, Spheres has overtaken Consuming Impulse. At first, I was like unsure with this album. I was kind of like, what the fuck is this? Then I was like, this is quite interesting. And now I'm like, this is fucking shit slaps, man. This shit slaps. It's it's insane. This was like when I heard Gorgut's Obscura for the first time, and I fucking hated it. And then over time, I was like, this is actually seeping into my veins. This is like crack. That's this album. It's very jazzy. It's probably the jazziest one they've done. It's the weirdest one. It's got the most beepity boopity noises on. It's the fucking most spacey one they've done. It's very avant-garde and very out there. So if any of that sounds good to you, go listen to this album, because Spheres is a masterpiece. One of the best fucking tech death albums of all time. If you like stuff like Atheist and what's the fucking other classic one called? Cynic. Stuff like that. You'll enjoy this. Come on, you'll enjoy Spheres, and it may be your number 1. Almost made my number 1, but I gotta go with Testimony of the Ancients as my number 1. Why, you ask? Well, let me tell you. It takes everything from Spheres, all the cool melodies, the cool solos, the cool spacey atmosphere, and all the heaviness from Consuming Impulse, and mixes it together into like a nice mixture. It's the best of both worlds. It's kind of like Seasons in the Abyss by Slayer, which is my favourite Slayer album, because it has the slower parts from South of Heaven and it has the faster parts from Radiant Blood. It's the perfect album. It's Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Testimony of the Ancients is just right. It mixes them both together. You could complain or hate all the outro tracks, like the fucking 20-second songs over after every song, and sure, when you're looking at it, but when you're listening to it, it doesn't sound like separate songs. They're like continuations of the song, and it flows really nicely. It's a nice flowing album. The songs are still technical. The songs are still heavy. It's the best of both worlds. Don't start singing Malice now, you bloody bastards. But yeah, I love Testimony of the Ancients, so it's easily gonna be my number 1 Pestilence album of all fucking time. So that was my list. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. What did you think down below? Let me know your favourite Testimony albums. Let me know your favourite... You could do Testament albums if you want. Let me know your favourite Testament albums, okay? And then your favourite Pestilence albums. Testament and Pestilence. They should do a tour. That'd be like a tongue twister. But yeah, let me know down below, and we'll see you again on another Quest for Metal.